And we back again, another episode of the world's famous Cousin Cocktails podcast. I'm Ron. This is Rube. Say what up, Rube.
What's going on? Back at you with another one. Y'all sit back, relax, kick them feet up, and enjoy yourself.
Get comfortable. It is a Juneteenth / Father's Day edition.
Juneteenth, baby.
That's right. We are celebrating in the place to be. You see, we got our cross colors, HBCU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Representing for Juneteenth. Again, Juneteenth is this weekend. If you are not familiar with what the Juneteenth holiday is, shame on you.
Right.
Big shame. But no, I know it's not talked about that much. It's really, unfortunately, just come into the light more mainstream in the last few years. But for those who aren't aware, Juneteenth is the celebration for African Americans here in this country of basically our emancipation. So you know that the country's independence was in 1776 when on 4th of July, when they signed the Declaration of Independence, it had officially made the United States free from Great Britain.
Yeah.
But at that time, slaves were still in bondage. So it wasn't until years later, after the Civil War, when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, some brothers came up from Galveston, Texas, letting them know that, hey, African Americans, you are now officially free. And I want to say that was almost like 100 years after 4th of July.
Yeah, it was actually almost 100 years after the Declaration. It's 1867 to be exact.
Yeah, so we was a little late to the party, but when we showed up, we showed out. So again, the Juneteenth celebration is commemorating that day where black people in the United States were officially free and joined that independent party, and that happened on June
19, 1867.
So we celebrating all the way around here at Cousin Cocktails. And with that in mind, what are we drinking today, Rube?
Today, y'all know what we got.
Hennessy. Keep it all the way black. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm pretty sure y'all know what the proof is, the alcohol content, and everything. But if you don't know, 80 proof, 40% by volume. We're going to take a shot as we always do. Then we got a new concoction for you this time. Just sit back and wait on that, and we'll let you know about everything else when we get there.
That's right. Anything is possible. All right, well, let's jump on this show. Why am I so excited to be drinking here?
I don't know. Just had some Henny last week.
Man, you put a little dent in this bottle. I said, the bottle didn't make it to Cousins and Cocktails. All right, let's go ahead with the shot of hen.
Well, you know how Hennessy smells, for sure.
Hen dog. That's a shame. That hen go down like water.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it first. So clearly, I'm a cognac connoisseur. Henny goes down smooth. I mean, this is not going to be an unpaid testimonial for Henny.
Right.
Because, truth be told, Henny's not even my favorite cognac. To tell the truth. It doesn't have much of a bite. It goes down smooth. Clearly, you know, like African American culture, we drink Henny is probably the cognac of choice. You know, for
very special.
Yeah, special occasion. Like if you go to a wedding, a baby shower, a barbecue, there's gonna be some hen dog behind the shelf somewhere. Somebody's gonna pull out some Henny. I don't know what it is about black people and Henny. Because again, to me, it's not my favorite. I'm more of a Douce man myself.
Okay.
And then after Douce, I'll go to Crown. But I mean, Henny's third for me. Okay. But it doesn't have much of a bite. It's smooth. It mixes well with stuff. I mean, I have no complaints whatsoever besides the price. I feel like we get gouged for the price of Henny. But even that, so it's an imported cocktail. It's from France. You know what I'm saying? There's really nothing bad to complain about Henny. Yeah. What you got, Rube?
Well, Hennessy is not my drink of choice, like I told you guys on episode 1. If you don't know, go back and watch it. I'm a whiskey guy. So, I can do the cognac, but like he's saying, Hennessy is not my go-to. My go-to is right here, that 1738 Remy, baby. Ooh. So,
I forgot about that. Go ahead.
If I'm doing cognac, I would go with 1738. Price tag a little steeper. But Henny at the party, it's all good. Yeah. I'll take some Henny. But I ain't taking no shots. I'm gonna mix that with a little Coke or something.
This is true. Again, it go down smooth. There's not much of a burn.
Yeah.
Probably because we drink it.
Right.
Because for a novice drinker, I'm pretty sure that he ain't gonna hit you on the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
But for these seasoned guts like I have, that's used to drinking Hennessy, no problem whatsoever. But like you were saying about that Remy, I'm actually gonna bump Hennessy down another rung. My first choice is Douce. I can't wait till we do a Douce episode of Cousin Cocktails. Douce is number 1. Remy VSOP for me is number 2. Then Crown, and then Hennessy.
But Crown is more of a Canadian whiskey, so
it is. But in my mind, it's cognac. so I'm leaving it up there.
Especially for Juneteenth and Father's Day, that is this particular weekend. We're going to hit you guys with a couple topics. First topic we have: what is your favorite major sports moment that you've seen by a black athlete? Mike, LeBron, Kobe, Randy Moss, King Griffey Jr. It's a lot of them out there.
It is. It is. I think for my generation, the most significant moment that I can see is twofold.
Okay.
For number 1 is Tiger.
Okay.
Because, growing up, like, nobody watched golf, played golf, pick up a golf club, nothing before Tiger Woods.
Wasn't cool at all.
It wasn't. Like, there was no swag whatsoever. There wasn't no Top Golf. Wasn't nobody going to the driving range. Like, so for me, seeing a black person not only play golf but like dominating out there. Oh hell yeah, Tiger! Hit that ball like we was learning about what
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Yes, we was learning about what birdie means, go par, all that stuff. Yeah. So to me, that was like a major thing was for Tiger, and then right down the middle with that, it was Venus and Serena Williams.
Okay.
Because when they came in with tennis, like because I know sports. Excuse me. I know about Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi and stuff like that. But for women, I knew no women tennis players whatsoever. Yeah. And then when Venus and Serena came out there,
they had you watch more than the men.
Man, with them bees and stuff all in the head and going, man. So like that was major for me. What about you?
For me, it's two as well. It's one that impacted me big time was seeing Kobe Bryant get drafted out of high school. That's what made me gravitate even harder to basketball. It made me like, oh man, Kobe, who is 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid getting out of high school, bald head, cocky with the wall. Like, yeah, Kobe was
taking Brandon
to the prom. Like, oh, what? Yeah. Who was that dude? Yeah. And I knew as I got older, I learned that KG was before him, and other guys was also before, like Moses Malone and Spencer Haywood and stuff. They came out of high school as well, but Kobe was that solidified guy, and that he's the one that made a lot of guys, like even LeBron said that Kobe was the one who put that snap on him, like, oh yeah, I'm coming out of high school.
Yeah. He started the trend.
Yeah, he started that.
Because you look like first it was Kobe. I mean, not first, but Kobe kicked off,
right?
And then after Kobe, you had like Sebastian Telfair. You had LeBron,
Darius Miles.
Yep, Darius Miles. What, Zach Randolph? Did
he
go straight out of high school?
No, not Zebo. Kwame Brown.
Are you sure Zach Randolph made?
No, Zach Randolph. He went to school.
What else am I thinking about that? Did Andrew Bynum come straight out of
high school? Bynum came out straight out of high school. You had Kwame Brown come out of high school. You had Josh Smith.
Yeah, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith. Yeah, a lot of guys came out. That was a big boom when Kobe set that off. Yeah. And another one of me is more recent. It's Simone Biles.
Oh,
the way she dominates gymnastics, it's like effortless. And I'm like, this young lady is like, I was watching the trials, not even the Olympics, the trials, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, they literally have to judge this woman at a different pecking order than the other gymnasts because she is that good. Like, they're like, oh, Simone Biles, that's a great landing, but I know she could do it better. So we're gonna give her a 9.7 instead of
anybody else out of your team, but because we know you can do better. You're gonna get 9. Yeah.
And she is amazing, like highly decorated in the sport and everything. And I believe her and Gabby Douglas made it very,
there too.
very obtainable for young black girls and even black boys to go into gymnastics in the Olympics, because the way they set things off, it was just like, wow. Like,
what's the sport as of right now that doesn't have a dominant African American figure, male or female, that you would like to see take that next step and be like, I can't wait till we start playing that? Like
Olympic swimming, men and women.
I know there is a black male that was on that like kind of like the equivalent to the 4x1 relay, and that was when what's the old dude's name that was winning all the medals?
Phelps.
Yeah, wasn't there a black guy that was on one of them, or was it all white guys?
I'm not sure.
I think there was one black dude on there.
But I would like to see more black swimmers.
I mean, something besides track. Like, you know what?
Yeah, you know we're going to kill track. But I like to see more black swimmers. And I would like for us to get back into lacrosse.
Yeah. Also, and then to answer my question that I asked you, answer my own question, I want to see, I know there's a few black hockey players. I want to see a dominant black hockey player.
PK Subban is pretty nice.
I don't want average. I want a dominant. Like, I'm talking about at every All-Star game. Like, I want one of them. Because I think, like, did you watch game 1 of Stanley Cup?
No, I didn't.
Man, like, that was my first time. I'm not going to lie. My first time watching a hockey game all the way through. But when I tell you hockey is like non-stop action.
Yeah.
The entire game. Like, and I love, like, football is my favorite sport. But when I tell you between hockey and soccer, like, I can see why people argue and be like, football is too slow. Because at first I was like, what do you mean it's too slow?
Right.
Because of football, you take a play, 35 seconds, take another play, a lot of walking around. The average NFL play lasts 10, 15 seconds. You're doing a bunch of walking around. Right. You get in the huddle, you go to the line, you make your checks, then you snap the ball. Man, hockey is go, 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 go the entire time. Like, they don't even take timeouts to make subs. There's people jumping on the ice all time. Like, I was like, damn, this shit is going live.
Have you ever been to a live hockey match?
No, and I want to so bad. So bad.
I tell you guys, a live hockey match is probably the most entertaining sporting event you'll ever go to.
I want to so bad.
It's crash, bang, crash.
When I tell you, every time somebody was up along that wall on that avalanche, you know, they was getting broke off against that glass. I was like, this is like football on ice. Like, it was. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't watch hockey, you might want to. Hey, now's the time. Season almost over. Next year, you can start fresh. Pick you a random favorite team and get into hockey. Because I'm telling you, like, hockey's pretty dope. Yeah,
and going back to the live match, the score was 1-0.
And that's what makes it
so... And this game was so lit. Like,
because, like, especially when it's a close game, every time they get close to net and you see a fast break going on, you're like, oh, damn, he blocked that shit. Damn, that goalie cold as hell, dog. He ain't letting nothing in. Like, hey, man, hockey's pretty live. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, hey, we might have to drive down to Columbus and see a Blue Jackets game. Then I was thinking, like, if they put that in Rocket Mortgage, could Cleveland sustain a hockey team? Like, would it be as live as Denver was when they had with the Avalanche? You know,
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Because we're a football town.
Man, that's football on ice.
And like, they will be competing with the Cavaliers, and Cavaliers' second sport here. So I don't think they can sustain it. Like, the hockey team, the Monsters do pretty well. And that's the match I went to, the Monsters match. Their matches be good too.
But at the same time, you're saying that the hockey team would have to compete with the Cavs, but Columbus Blue Jackets is down there with Ohio State, and ain't nothing bigger in Ohio than Ohio State football.
But the Ohio State season's over in November, and then they got a month off. Blue Jackets starting in October, and they running through all the way till April. And it's nothing else down there but the crew, and the crew don't start until July. So with that being segued to our concoction of the week.
Man, so this week we got a little special treat for you. You know, every week we'll have our alcohol of the week. We'll take a neat drink. We'll review it and talk about it. And then we come and hit you with a mixed beverage, a cocktail to make with that same alcohol.
Right.
This week, did a little something special for you. So I know you're thinking, what could we gonna mix with this Henny? Is it gonna be Henny lemonade? Is it gonna be Henny and Coke?
No.
Is it gonna be a Henny pineapple lemonade mixture or something of the sort? Nope. We went ahead and did something special for y'all. We have hit you with the Henny hot wings. So right now we got the Henny honey barbecue wings that I have conjured up myself.
Okay.
Made these with love. Rube, I'm gonna let you do the inaugural taste.
Let's see what these hitting for.
Grab you one of them Henny honey barbecue wings and let me know what you think.
Here we go.
So, normally we say our cocktail is 2 parts this, 3 parts that, maybe a little bit of this and that. I ain't telling you what's in this because I don't want y'all stealing my recipe. Just know that there is whole chicken wings, seasoned to perfection, made in the air fryer. We don't deep fry around here, trying to watch the gut. We got barbecue sauce.
Yo, these are hidden.
We got barbecue sauce. We got some Hennessy jumped off in there with the barbecue sauce, and I put a little other special ingredients. So that is the honey Hennessy barbecue wing.
Y'all go ahead and try to do whatever he did. These boys on point.
So that's a winner. That's a winner for you, huh?
You get you a shot of Henny and get you some hot wings with some Henny in it.
Yeah. So, and this is no cap right here. Rube didn't taste these off camera. So this is the first time. I just made these before we came over to film. They still warm. He's tasting this for the first time. And they get the Cousin Cocktail seal of approval.
See, I ain't stopped eating.
So, while you eating that, I'll ask the question. Rube, if Henny Honey Wings is available at your local drive-through restaurant, your $5 snack pack, your local barbecue joint, are you ordering the Honey Henny Wings? I'm going to go ahead and say yeah.
Let me get one for here and one to go.
Hey, Rube,
I know my wife going to ask for some.
Oh, wait a minute. Pick that up. No, let me see that bone.
That's some clean eating right there.
He didn't clean the bone, huh?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
I ain't going to lick my finger on camera.
That's what's up, Rube.
But if it's off camera, you know it's going down.
Glad you enjoyed. Don't worry. We got some more in the back when
Right.
we get done. So, there you have it. The cocktail of the week. This week, curveball for Juneteenth. Honey Hennessy hot wings.
Yeah.
Oh, not hot. Sorry. Honey Hennessy
Barbecue wings. Yeah, hey. Hot wing, barbecue wings, whatever. That Henny inside them wing sauce, hey, do that.
Yeah. So I did. I ain't gonna lie. I tasted one before, of course, because I'm the cook. I made it. To me, we'll do the review. That hen, make that barbecue pop a little bit, don't it?
Yeah.
It make the barbecue come out a little bit.
And the Hennessy do not overpower the wings, guys and ladies.
Mm-hmm.
It does not. It gives it something extra, but it does not overpower the barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives it a punch in which it takes it up a notch. So if you're using your basic barbecue sauce, you mix some of that Henny in there, and you got you one.
Word to the wise. This is not my first time making honey Henny wings. Do not do what I did the first time. First time, I was doing long pours of that Henny. When I had the barbecue sauce, I was over there pouring that. No, that ain't enough. I'm over there making drunk wings, and it overpowered the flavor of the wings. So if you do too much hen, it will overpower, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not enjoyable. When you're making honey Henny wings, you're not trying to really taste the hen.
Right.
You might taste a hint of hen, but Hennessy should not be the first thing you taste when you bite into your wing.
Yeah.
So for this, ease back on the hen. I'll give you one chef secret. That's probably about a shot and a half, no more than 2 shots for included in the barbecue sauce.
Okay.
So if you're making yours and you got more than 2 shots in there, you better have a whole.
You trying to get drunk.
You trying to get drunk. If you pour more than 2 shots of hen in your barbecue sauce, just go ahead and get you a tumbler, grab you some ice, and pour the hen on ice and just drink it because you're trying to get drunk.
Yeah.
Also, just in case you're wondering, the alcohol kind of burns off. So know if you have a 6-piece of honey Henny wings, you're not gonna be drunk or tipsy after the alcohol burns off. You cook your barbecue sauce with the hen for a little while, and that alcohol will burn off. You'll get a little bit of the Hennessy flavor, but you will not be getting drunk or anything off you.
Right. So, with that being said, it's also Father's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
And we are both fathers.
Yeah.
So, I want to know, what is your favorite father's moment in sports?
Okay, favorite father's sports moment will be, I know I touched on him earlier, but Tiger Woods, when he won that major and his father was there,
Mm-hmm.
and hugging his dad on the side, or on the course or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
That's very significant for me. And then Ken Griffey Jr. I know it didn't happen on Father's Day, but Ken Griffey Jr. actually playing the game with his dad.
Yeah, that's dope.
Those are probably the two biggest moments for me.
Yeah, that's dope. The Ken Griffey moment is dope because you're batting behind your dad, and y'all both playing it out for the same time. Mm-hmm. That's dope. My favorite father's moment in sports is the Michael Jordan finals capture on Father's Day. I know it's a sad moment because his pops was gone at that time, but just showing that raw emotion and capturing another championship on Father's Day and just letting all that pour out and knowing you doing this for your pops. That was like monumental. And another one for me is if you saw the King Richard movie, pretty significant. What he did for his daughters, getting them into tennis. Like most black fathers with sons or daughter, they looking at the most popular sports. So you're looking at your daughters, you're probably looking at softball, volleyball, basketball. Like not too many black fathers was looking at tennis, and he did something that most black dads wasn't thinking of doing, and he got 2 megastars out of the equation. And watching the movie, Will Smith did a great job, and it just goes to show you like how monumental he was to their play. Even though he held Serena back at first, but he knew Serena was going to be the greatest.
Yeah, because he didn't want the media he wanted Serena to still be alive.
Right,
kid,
right,
which
yeah.
was good. He didn't want. He
knew
he knew she was
her.
going to be good, so he didn't want her to not have a childhood. Also,
right.
He was already thinking about that. Plus, Will Smith ain't smacked nobody in that.
He thought about it, but
yeah, he was getting smacked by the gang members. Another moment that I thought about that neither one of us chose was when the Cavs won the NBA championship. And they were interviewing J.R. Smith during that post conference, during the press conference after they won. And
that was on Father's Day, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And his father was there. Quick story, real quick. Your favorite, I guess a story, and then I'll ask you what's yours. My favorite Father's Day moment ever. So, telling that story about J.R. Smith reminded me of that same day. So, back in 2016, I was still living in Denver at the time. I made the drive from Denver to Cleveland in like 19 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I pulled into downtown Cleveland, and all of downtown Cleveland, like you could not drive through. Like everybody in Cleveland, it seemed like was downtown to watch Game 7
of
the NBA Finals. So I don't know. It was by the grace of God, I found a parking spot in this parking garage because there was like nowhere to park anywhere. And I called my aunt. I'm like, I'm outside. I'm trying to get to the hotel room. Like it's like as many people as you see as pictures for the Cavs parade. And it was like all downtown at that time.
Right.
Like an hour and a half before the game started. So I get into the 9, and I go up to her hotel room. I go in there, take a shower or whatever. I'm on pure adrenaline. I'm not tired or whatever. Game started in 45 minutes. So my aunt comes to the hotel room, and she's like, yeah, your father's on the way. I didn't tell him that you're here. So I'm like, all right. So everybody was in the 9. And for all you don't know, the 9 is like a condo / hotel.
Yeah,
downtown
it's
Cleveland.
nice. I stayed there twice.
Right. Shameless plug. Right by the Cavs stadium. There were so many people there that he was in the lobby of the 9 trying to get up to the hotel room, but there's a bar on the very top floor on the roof.
Right.
And everybody was using the hotel room to try to get to the bar to watch the game. He couldn't get up to the hotel.
Right.
I mean, he couldn't get up to our room. So we was probably like on the 14th or 15th floor. I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk down the steps, let him up to the steps, and then let him up to the room.
Right.
So I take 14 flights of steps down to get to the lobby. So I get to the lobby, and I see my father there with 2 gigantic bottles of Ciroc and he had brought him to watch the game. So he's standing there and he has his back towards me with these two Ciroc bottles. So I see him and Dad, and he turns around and he's looking and he's like shocked, like, what are you doing here? And bro, when I tell you, I started watering up, and I'm like, man, Dad, I just came to see you for Father's Day. Man, we'll talk about it later. He was like, you all right? And I'm like, man, I'm wiping my eyes. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm cool. Like, let's just watch the game. Yeah, let's watch the game. And he was like, all right. And he was just so happy to see me.
Right.
For me to spend that Father's Day with him, and then, the rest is history. We watched the game, the Cavs win the championship, we hugging. Like, I still got video of me and my dad afterwards, celebrating the streets up. But to me, that is like the dopest Father's Day moment ever. Like, to make that drive, surprise my father on Father's Day, watch the Cavs win the championship, and then afterwards, me and him celebrating in the streets, and then it was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. We made it into a bar, and we bought drinks, and then I finally told him, like, yeah, Dad, this was going on, got into this argument, whatever. Like, and then we talked about while I was there, but just like for him turning around and like, man, I still kind of get choked up thinking about that. Like, that moment there was probably my best Father's Day moment.
Okay. I ain't topping that. Probably my favorite Father's Day moment was maybe, I would say, 4 years ago. 3 years ago. So, my wife what she did was basically left me alone. She took the kids with her, everything.
Yeah, you selfish motherfucker. No, I'm just playing.
But the thing is, like, she left me alone, but we ended up going out to dinner as well. But I wasn't expecting nothing or anything. I don't ever expect nothing on Father's Day. I just glad I'm here, whatever. So they come back and Quincy and Zara had me a gift. I'm like, what can they get me? They come out. I'm sitting on the back porch. They come out like, oh, here's your gift. Just hand it to me all nonchalant. I open it, and I was like, what is this? It's a rectangle. What is this? The Kobe book. I'm like, what?
And Kobe's your favorite player.
I was like, oh, man, that is dope. Till this day, I cracked that book one time because I don't want to break the scenes. So I read the prelude, and I read like the first couple pages, and I'm like, and then we all know Kobe ended up passing it and whatnot. So it's like, do I really want to? It's literally sitting in my living room on my stand next to the magazine that he gave me of Kobe, and if somebody drops something on it, touch it, I'm like, oh, get off Kobe. Get off Kobe.
You say no open that magazine I gave you neither?
Nope.
That's what's up.
Nope. Haven't.
I realized, like, as I got older, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up, like, as far as Father's Day go, it is, we were talking about earlier, like, your favorite Father's Day moment, and then every moment we talked about was the son doing something for their dad, or, like, Mike doing it for his dad, and JR having a moment and his dad being there at the press conference, and Tiger winning the championship and his dad being there. What I have realized now being a father, got 3 kids. What I have realized being a father is that I am so much more happy when they do something as opposed as probably the kid is doing something for them. Yeah. So like yeah, I might have been happy like doing something like, yeah, Dad, look what I did, so on and so forth, and I'm happy I did this for you. But for me, it is seeing my child put in so much hard work into a certain thing, and then when they achieve their goal of what they were working so hard for, like, man, I swear, like, I can count on one hand the number of times I've cried growing up before I had kids. But then after I've had kids, and it'd be the most simplest of things, and your child will do something, and then, like, to me, it is, like, so rewarding as a parent.
Right, yeah, I got
to see your child do something.
A crazy story, like, this happened a couple months back. My son played AU basketball, so he comes out bawling, crying. Like, I'm like, you good? You cool? Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm like, no, come on, we got to talk. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what is it? Playing time? What? He like, yeah, they icing me on the court. Yeah, they ain't let me play. And I know I can play with these guys. I know I'm better than half of these guys. I'm like, you got to understand this AAU basketball. I'm like, you're a basketball player. These guys are hoopers. You know how to play the game. They just want to get out there and go. And you also got to remember that you're playing for a guy whose son and nephew plays on the team. So he's like, boy, I'm like, dude, like, and as you see your son cry, you just like, who the F did this to my son?
That's when you get into protective mode.
Right? So I'm like, I got to calm him down. And then it's like, when you see this happen and you give him this talk, and now it's a switch that turns on for him. Because he's like, my dad don't give a crap what they look at. He know what I can do. This dude goes in the backyard now, no problem. I don't have to ask, like, you shoot it. He go out there working free throws. And he's good. I'm just saying that because he's my son. He's the most skilled player I've ever seen at his size and his age ever.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. QB.
Ever.
I'm like, man, if Q have a growth spurt, or it is a wrap. If Quincy have a growth spurt, it's a wrap. And then, like, he reminds me of Steph. Like, even if he don't have a growth spurt. Because, like, Steph proved you could be 6 feet and still be that deal. Yeah. And I see, as long as Q keep on playing, like, growth spurt be damn. Like,
right. And I tell him all the time, like, you're too skilled to worry about what one person think about you. Because what's done in the dark is always shown in the light. And I'm like, when they put you in the game, do you play hard and play your best? Yes. Yeah, I've been in 2 games. I've seen you probably play in AAU basketball. I've seen him play like 13 minutes. And them 13 minutes, he's always in the plus. It's never like he's on the floor and he's killing the team. He's killing his team. He is killing the other team. But I think it's because he's a smaller guard, and these other guys been in this system. It just get wiped away. And like another thing, this child of mine been playing basketball since he was 8, and he never played with his age group. And like always, and like when I say he's killing these dudes that at 8 years old, he's killing these dudes at 11, 12 years old. So I'm like, let's go to 15. At 11 years old, he's killing 15 years old. So now he's 14, and I took him to hoop with me. Well, he's 13 at the time, and he's killing grown men. And I'm not exaggerating because he's my son. Like, it's just because he plays, and he plays at his pace, nobody bring him. So, like he said, when you see your child do something, like, he almost had me in tears on the court. I can't even play the game. I'm just watching him like, oh, I'm amazed. Like, this dude at 5'3" is doing this stuff. Like, at 13, I was never that good. I was just taller, and I was more athletic, but as skill-wise, yeah.
And for me and my son, it was not even sports related. Yeah, and like I sent you a text, it was his grades. Right. And I never you always tell your kids, like, do your homework and do it. I know how smart you are, and so on and so forth. You know, so for my son, it was a culmination like this year. Like, me always saying, like, stop messing around, and, you know, you're smarter than that, and use complete sentences and do punctuation, and, like, I know you're smart enough to get an A on all of your work, and, you know, and, like, don't settle for a B and stuff like that. Right. And then for my son this year, it was like, I would ask him, like, do you have homework, and do you have so-and-so, and it would be on him, like, did you finish this and that, or, Dad, I got it, Dad, don't worry about it, yes, I did this, yes, and I was like, you know what, this quarter, I'm going to let him, whatever, but if you bring home a bad grade, I'm going to be on your ass if you bring home. Bro, when I tell you, I checked my son, and I was always checking throughout the year, and he got his 4th quarter report card. My son brought home a 3.6 GPA. He had all A's and B's. He got 1 C. He had 4 A's. 5 A's, 4 B's, and 1 C. And even those B's, like some of the B's that he had, there was like 88% and 89%. Right. Like, he was like 2% off on 2 of those classes to have like 7 A's, 2 B's, and a C for his whole report. I had never, and I graduated high school, I graduated college. I never brought home anything higher than 3.5.
Okay.
And with him to have that, it was like a 3.65 GPA. When I seen that, like, shit, I started tearing up. Because I'm like, sports be damned. Like,
right.
You prove to yourself, you prove to your teachers, you prove to everyone who doubted what a preteen/teenage African American boy can do.
Right.
With the circumstance, like, there was no excuses. COVID be damned or anything damned. Like, you went without me. I never checked one homework assignment. He didn't ask me for any help, and on his own, he went out and he got A's on math projects and he got A's on science projects. And for him to bring on those grades,
right.
Like, he don't, and I told him all the time, that's probably the single most proud of him I have ever been, for him to bring home grades that good, and the fact that he did it all by himself. It's like reaching that full potential that I always knew you could do, and now you see for yourself that you're capable of greatness, and it's not just me saying that you're great because you're my child. Like, you hearing it, you accepting it, and then you're going out and doing what you're capable of doing. Like, that's probably been like the one.
And I got one more thing too. I also on Father's Day, I like to get back to my brothers, cousins, friends in my life that are fathers, that are real fathers, like, that take care of their children, take care of their home, everything. So every year, in the past 2 years, this going on 3, we will be having a Father's Day barbecue on Sunday. I just like to throw something on the grill. It ain't even something on the grill like burger. I'm throwing brisket, shoulder, beer can chicken, ribs. I'm doing it all. And it's for all my guys and ladies that like to come out that are real parents to their children. And I would like to keep this going. It's a cousin cocktail, say prelude to something I like to keep going. And I want it to grow bigger. And I just like to give back to dads, because I didn't grow up with a dad. Some people did, some people didn't, and some people that even grew up with dads that didn't even have, like, weren't able to have conversations with their dads and stuff. So I like to have all my friends and cousins and brothers over to do things that we couldn't do when we was younger. And I had the kids over and everything. So that's a Father's Day gift that I give to all fathers that are dads, that are friends of mine, cousins, brothers, uncles, whoever. Like, but I think that's a great. I always like to give back, even though I don't get no return. I always like to give back. So that's another thing too. So if y'all out there and listening, it's not about always getting. Like, what you gonna give me Father's Day? How about you give a little?
So, we usually do the quote of the day. This week, I'm gonna go ahead and give flowers of the day. And this flowers for this episode is, for one, again, Juneteenth. All African Americans out there that are doing something positive. Whether it be something positive in your neighborhood, whether you're a role model for somebody, whether you just working your normal 9 to 5 and staying out of trouble. That is something positive. Because at one point in time, we weren't able to get jobs. We didn't have a roof over our heads or whatever. Just the fact that you were out there striving in 2020, shouts out to you. And also, a special shout out to all of the fathers, all of the father figures, all of the uncles, all of the grandfathers, all of the homies next door that are doing something positive and are having an influence in kids' lives. Shout out to you. Rue, special shout out to you. Now, Cousin Cocktail exclusive. We're not Cousin Cocktail just because it's a catchy name. This is my first cousin. I want to give you your flowers. Rue, you do an exceptional job raising 4 kids. And like as you said, for somebody who didn't grow up with their father, you would never know it. Because you do everything. You cook for the kids, you take the kids to practice, you take the kids to lessons, your kids are scholars, all of your kids are so smart, well-mannered, you're a husband, you did everything the right way without an immediate father figure in your life. Like, we had our grandfather, but without having a father right there in front of your face, you would never know. And I commend you for that. I appreciate you. I love you. All the other fathers, figures, all of my other homeboys out there that are fathers to their kids, regardless of whether you're with the moms or not, y'all are there in y'all's kids' lives. Y'all are coaching kids up. Y'all are teachers in school. Y'all are role models for your kids and other kids. I commend you. I appreciate you. Keep up the good work.
And on that note, we out.